There's never been a quarterback competition in the city of Pittsburgh here in 2024, and I'm not sure why. Russell Wilson being named the starter is headline news. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's dive in here on a Thursday and talk about that and a little bit more. Maybe some things concerning this offensive line as injuries continue to mount and where the Steelers are going to turn to fill those holes that are left by some of these injured players. So let's first start off there with the big one. Russell Wilson being named the starter here for week one as if it was some surprise, some shock. It's some big headline news. Some of you may disagree with Russell Wilson being the starter. Some of you may be supportive of that decision that Mike Tomlin has made, but it has never been a question. There has never been a real competition in the city of Pittsburgh. There wasn't much Justin Fields could have did short of being literally lights out, all pro looking during the preseason. I mean, he would have had to really, really shine and destroy every team that he came across and really light it up and just really play out of his mind in order to win that job from Russell Wilson. It's always been Russell Wilson. That's what he was brought in here to do. To be the veteran, the steady hand, the image of consistency, the guy that has been to the promised land, the guy that has been to a Super Bowl and won one. He's lost one. He's been around. He knows what this league is all about. So it's always been Russell Wilson. That's what he was brought in to do. And there's never been a question, at least in my eyes, and I think most of you have realized this also, that the day they signed Russell Wilson was the day that Russell Wilson was going to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers week one in Atlanta, period. That's just how it's going to go, and that's how it's been. And yes, Russell Wilson hasn't had an exciting preseason. He's been hampered by a calf injury that happened right at the start of training camp. He did have some time during OTAs and mini camps to get that chemistry with his team. He did show a little bit there in the third preseason game, able to get the Steelers, drove down to the end zone there and put a touchdown up on the board. So, yes, that was good, but the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't seen probably what they want from either quarterback during the preseason. Justin Fields hasn't been productive either, nor Russell. But we've seen Russell in a more limited capacity. But again, he's the starter, so hey, you're not going to see him as much. But Justin Fields definitely didn't perform out of his mind or perform up to the standard in which you would have dethroned a guy that is bringing a resume like Russell Wilson to this football team. He just did not do enough to upend a guy that's probably going to end up in Canton, Ohio one day, and that is Russell Wilson. It is what it is. Some of you may agree with that or disagree with that. I think he's probably a Hall of Fame type guy. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl and finishing his career on a high note with a football team that has an amazing defense, that has an offense that's going to be designed to what Russell Wilson does best, play action pass, those types of things that Russell Wilson has succeeded with in the past. A real recipe in which he has been his most successful in the league is what Pittsburgh is trying to deploy this season. So Russell really made a solid choice when he decided to come to Pittsburgh, because if you look at every team in the NFL, which team would be tailor-made to his style of play? The answer was only Pittsburgh. That's what Pittsburgh's trying to do. You look at Arthur Smith and you know his emphasis on the run game. You look at the way he is going to use those tight ends. You look at the way he is going to use the action game in order to make Russell Wilson successful with hitting some of those splash plays throughout the football game. He's not going to ask Russell Wilson to go out there and throw 4 touchdown passes a game for 300 yards. That's not what this system's going to be. This system is going to be one in which it is ball control, ball control, ball control. Run it down somebody's throat. Really lead the time of possession. Really dictate the pace of play. And that is what you're getting from this Steelers offense in 2024. Now, perhaps does it evolve into more? I hope so, and I would like to think that it does. As the season progresses, I would like to see the Steelers really open it up and really get moving. But this is year one of Arthur Smith's system. So Russell Wilson is that guy that fits everything that you're asking this offense to do. Russell Wilson fits it. And I know some people don't want to hear that or just want to say, well, Justin Fields is an athlete. They're going to use Justin Fields. They're not going to let him sit there all the time. He's going to get out there for some packages. Of course he is. No doubt about it. But Is he the guy that should be out there down in, down out, leading this football team, leading this offense, being the starter? No, he's not ready. And again, it's not his time. We've talked about that before. Right now, what's best for this football team is Russell Wilson. And I know you hear a lot of the national media out there calling Russell Wilson washed, but the guy is in excellent physical condition. The guy is mentally sharp. The guy can still push the ball down the field. Now, he is older. Now, has his skills probably declined some? Absolutely. It's just natural. It's life. It's human nature. Of course, they're going to decline a little bit. But again, guys, I have to reiterate. Everything the Steelers want to do is what Russell Wilson does best or has done best in the past. Now, if you get into the regular season and Russell Wilson is laying an egg, he's not able to get it done. He is just showing his age. He's just not able to guide this offense the way you would want it to. You have that insurance policy. You could let the young man in Justin Fields go out there and just ball out and play out of his head and allow him to do the things athletically that he can do best, and just cross your fingers and hope that he is able to fix some of his major deficiencies, such as anticipation, reading defenses, things of that nature, processing, that he does really, really poorly right now, and just hope for the best. That's maybe what you could do if you're the Steelers, like a break glass in case of emergency on Justin Fields and allow him to roll. But again, he's not going to be able to go out there and execute the game plan the way Russell Wilson is going to be able to. This offense is going to have a guy that is able at the quarterback position to process this defense at a high rate. He has to be a real good processor of the game here. He's going to have to be able to look at the defense, check in and out of plays, put the Steelers in the right situations offensively in order to be successful. He's going to have to be able to recognize when they can hit those big splash plays and check out of whatever they got going on in order to hit those plays. And I don't think Justin in his processing is to that level. And I wouldn't want to have to rely on that. Justin, again, guys, is a superior athlete. He's probably one of the best athletes in the league, no doubt about that. But that's not what you're not looking for a running back. You're not looking for a guy that's just going to go one read and tuck it and run. You need a guy that's going to be able to, again, process, anticipate, throw guys open, and learn how to push the ball down the field when needed, and learn how to take those calculated risks and not live on the edge of the seat by having basically a running back there at quarterback. But Russell Wilson, guys, again, I think he is the right choice. I think if you really break it down, you too will think he's the right choice. And I have to just say this. He is the logical answer. And I have to keep reminding everybody, this was never a competition. And the headlines that Russell Wilson has been appointed quarterback one, it doesn't matter. It's stupid. It is what it is. It was always Russell Wilson. It was not a mystery. Let's talk a little bit here before the start of the season and what these injuries along the offensive line have meant for the Steelers. Isaac Seumalo dodging a bullet, only getting a strain in his pectoral muscle, and it doesn't require any surgical correction right now as we sit, so that is a good sign. But again, where will they fill those holes? And that's going to come from guys like Mason McCormick, Spencer Anderson. I look for Spencer Anderson to be the starter in place of Isaac Seumalo moving forward, the second-year guy who is a little bit of a Swiss Army knife that's played a little bit all over the place on the offensive line during his football time or career thus far. Not with just the Steelers. I'm talking college, his whole body of work. But he's familiar, and guard is where he's been, and I think he will fill in nicely. I've expected some big things and really been high on Spencer Anderson, and I think the Steelers are too. Also, Mason McCormick is a guy that can come in there and do some nice things, I think, as a rookie and grow with those other rookies. You look at Broderick Jones, I think that elbow is the problem. I really, really do. Whenever you're trying to push around 300 and some pound guys that can run really fast, that are super strong, having an injured elbow is not going to be ideal for you. And it's definitely going to cause some problems, whether they want to admit that, Broderick wants to admit that or not. It is what it is. But again, Again, Troy Fautanu has a knee injury also, so maybe he returns, which is supposedly the case for week 1. So you will probably see, in my eyes, you will probably see a Troy Fautanu or a Broderick Jones at right tackle. Dan Moore Jr. is going to be the left tackle come week 1, no doubt about it. It's just a slam dunk. Sadly, he's been the guy that's been the best offensive lineman for the Steelers throughout the preseason, so we'll see how that goes. But again, you will see Spencer Anderson at that left guard position. So it will be Dan Moore, left tackle, Spencer Anderson, left guard, Zach Frazier, center, which is a rookie, so that may be a little bit concerning to you, but I have high hopes for him. I think he's going to be really, really good. Then you're going to move to right tackle, and that is going to be James Daniels. And then on the right tackle, or right guard, will be James Daniels. Then right tackle will be either Broderick Jones or Troy Fautanu, and we'll have to just see who's the most healthy guy. That's probably what that's going to boil down to. And the other will start the season on the bench, and then they will have to gain their health and fill in when one of those other guys isn't performing up to snuff, and will probably get their opportunity for 2024. So that's how I think that all plays out for your Steelers. Again, Russell Wilson is the starter at quarterback, and I think the offensive line has enough young talent to be able to overcome some of these injuries, and hopefully the Steelers are just getting this injury bug out of the way here early, and won't have to worry about it as much during the regular season like we did last year. But yeah, I think good things will happen. I don't think it's time to panic, and I don't think you as fans should hit the panic button just yet on your Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think you should be highly confident of their ability to be successful come week 1 of the regular season down in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, guys, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. We're going to be back tonight for a live show around 7:45, 8 o'clock, so make sure you look out for that. We will be back doing it live. Last night, I appreciate the chat was popping off. You guys were great in the chat. Whether we agree, disagree, it's still awesome. So bring your chat, conversations, comments, concerns. Bring that to the conversation, because it is super fun to dissect this football team with you guys, the viewers of the channel. So it's definitely really awesome to do that. The super chats were super awesome last night. We've gained some memberships again too. We're almost up to 60 paid memberships. That's cool. And we gained some subscribers last night. So let's continue to march toward that 4,000 subscriber goal. We're about 3,520 something. So let's continue to march toward that 4,000 here and try to hit it before the season starts. And I know we can do that. So share the content, like it, do all that good stuff. So again, I appreciate your support. And till tonight, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.